The music reminds me of Battle Block as well.
The crowd roared as Hylian Hound and Simji stepped into the arena, ready to fight for their
Oh, it's
freedom.
voiced.
The enemy gladiator, a hulking brute, sneered at them from across the sandy floor. Hylian Hound, with a confident grin, summoned Big Chungus, a behemoth of a man with massive fists. With one huge punch, Big Chungus knocked the enemy gladiator to the ground, leaving them stunned. Simji, not to be outdone, pulled out all the stops. They grabbed the enemy gladiator, kicked them in the balls, and then stabbed them in the head with a swift, deadly motion. The crowd gasped in shock and awe. But in the chaos, Big Chungus, pumped from their initial punch, accidentally swung their massive fist at Sage, crushing them
Wow.
beneath its weight.
No!
As the dust settled, Hylian Hound stood victorious, Big Chungus by their side. The enemy gladiator, still reeling from the initial punch, was easily finished off by Hylian Hound's swift sword strike.
Yeah.
In the end, Hylian Hound survived.
Devastated.
Big Chungus for the win.
What did you even do to word it?
As the night fell, Hylian Hound and SMG stood nervously in front of the creepy haunted house.
You're gonna be
Hound,
like-
seemingly unbothered by the eerie atmosphere, pulled out their phone and started browsing hotels. Come. A nice place along the coast with a free breakfast. I'll just book a room and enjoy myself to no end, they thought, completely oblivious to the task at hand. Meanwhile,
That's funny.
SMG took a more proactive approach, rummaging through their supplies and pulling out a bag of salt. They carefully formed a circle around themselves, holding a crucifix in their hand, hoping to ward off any malevolent spirits. As the night wore on, strange noises began to echo through the halls.
So cool.
Hylian Hound, still engrossed in their phone, didn't notice the ghostly figure creeping up behind them.
No!
With a blood-curdling scream, the ghost grabbed Hylian Hound and they were never seen again. Simongi, however, stood firm within their salt circle, the crucifix held high. The spirits howled and hissed, but they couldn't penetrate the protective barrier. As the night wore on, the haunting grew more intense, but SMG held their ground, praying for dawn to arrive. When the first light of morning crept through the windows, the haunting ceased, and Simoje emerged victorious, shaken but alive. In the end, Simji survived.
Wow.
That's what happens when you're on your phone all the time. Way that they take you. So you could probably put one word and it just puts it into.
Toward the earth, their minds raced with desperation. Hylian Hound rummaged through their pocket, producing a can of WD-40, which they used to loosen the strings on their parachute. With a surge of hope, the parachute finally deployed, slowing Hylian
Wow,
Hound's
just
descent
well
up.
done.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Simonji spotted another parachuter nearby and made a desperate lunge, grabbing onto their leg. The two of
Did
them
I?
tangled together, careening wildly through the air.
Yes, kill both of
But
us.
as they glided towards the ground, Simonji's grip faltered, and they were torn free, crashing into a rocky outcropping with a sickening crunch.
Nice.
Hylian Hound, shaken but alive, watched in horror as Simonji's lifeless body slumped to the ground.
Smidges.
In the end, Hylian Hound survived.
I like this. This is so cool.
This should be interesting again.
Mhm.
We probably went along
Just-
the same lines, to be honest.
Yeah. Probably. Fireball.
Yeah. Totally.
As the wizard cast a powerful spell, Smidgy quickly retaliated by trying to turn him into a penis. The wizard, caught off guard, stumbled backward as their body began to morph into a giant phallus. Hylian Hound seized the opportunity, cast a stick punch and struck with a powerful blow. The wizard, now in agony, fell to their knees, balls in pain, and rolled backward and forward, begging for mercy with tears in their eyes. However, Smidgy's spell was not as effective as they had hoped, and the wizard's magic began to reverse the transformation. As the wizard regained their human form, they unleashed a blast of energy that struck Simji, incinerating them instantly.
Oh no.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Hylian Hound continued to pummel the wizard with their death punch spell, taking advantage of the wizard's weakened state. The wizard, unable to defend themselves, succumbed to the relentless attacks and collapsed to the ground, defeated. In the end, Hylian Hound survived.
That's fucking funny.
I told you
Fireball.
we would have done the
Yeah.
exact same thing.
As Hylian Hound and Simji stood by the lake, they were suddenly surrounded by a swarm of killer bees. Hylian Hound quickly pulled out their phone and tried to ring up their friend Nicolas Cage, shouting, "Not the bees!" as they did so. Without waiting for an answer, they charged headfirst into the swarm, fighting off the bees with karate punches. Meanwhile, Simji grabbed their snorkel and jumped into the lake, hoping to escape the bees. However, the bees were relentless and followed them into the water. Simji tried to swim away, but the bees were too fast and soon surrounded them, stinging them repeatedly.
The idea of these bees.
Was no match for the bees, and they soon succumbed to the attack, their body floating lifeless to the surface.
But you karate chopping them. It's
Hylian
fucking.
Hound, on the other hand, continued to fight off the bees with their karate
That's
punches.
so funny.
Despite being stung multiple times, they managed to clear a path through the swarm and make their way to the lake's edge. With one final punch, they sent the last bee flying and collapsed onto the shore, exhausted but alive. In the end,
That's so
Hylian
fucking
Hound survived.
In the end.
He then jumped into the lake where he escaped the bees.
That's fine. Oh, I can't wait.
I'll be
As the
surprised if I
alien
win.
invasion began, Hylian Hound had an idea. They called upon the Men in Black, a secret organization tasked with dealing with extraterrestrial threats.
That's a good idea.
The agents arrived promptly and began wiping the minds of everyone on the planet, including SMG, who was too busy trying to get a message to the aliens to notice. SMG's plan was to let the aliens probe them,
Wow!
hoping to gather information that could be used to defeat them. However, as they were being probed, they failed to notice the aliens' sinister intentions.
This is so funny. It's just so funny. I fucking love this. It's fucking
Meanwhile, the
funny.
Men in Black continued to wipe minds, making sure no one remembered the invasion. Hylian Hound, being the one who called them, was spared and became the only one who remembered the events that transpired.
Wow.
With the aliens defeated and the planet saved, Hylian Hound was left as the sole survivor.
What do you mean
In
the
the
sole
end, Hylian
survivor?
Hound survived.
I want to be the only survivor on Earth.
Yeah, well, you are. As well as the Men in Black.
I can't believe I won that. I had nothing. That was like pulling out my arse.
Sorry, you pulled out a whole fucking alien fucking defeating thing.
Yeah, but I thought that's not going to be enough to win. Did you actually type probe?
Yeah. Of course I did.